in the beginning.
That's amazing.
So we'll wait for that.
There are two fans.
It's usually either Jacob Kelp or
Do you know these people?
I don't know who Jacob Kelp is. I kind of want to. If Jacob comes through,
Oh, he was on the
You should invite him
video
on the
today.
show.
Yeah. Can we talk to him?
I want to invite him on
In
the
the
show
chat, you can.
next semester. Not next semester.
He
Next.
was a Syracuse student.
I don't think so. I actually don't know what this guy is. I want to invite him to the next stream if he's here.
He should pull up. He should pull up right now.
He really should. Jacob Kelp, are you here? Perry the Platypus.
Hello.
He's someone now on to Boston, so maybe this guy's just like a huge college Survivor fan. He's like watching every college.
No,
Yeah, I
he-
saw him do
he
that.
watched Boston too. I think Boston might still be live, so he might still be there. But whatever. And then, 7 people are on apparently.
Oh,
But anyway,
7?
yeah, I think that's delayed.
How do we see them?
Top left. It says 1 right now, but on my side it says 7.
I see 7.
Oh, I see.
Anyways, so welcome Owen, Mel, and Catherine for the episode 7 post talk episode. I'm brought here by Vice President Mel. You saw her host today's challenge and a brief little vlog where her and Valentina are helping Vicavor try to find me. Owen, who plays in the future season of Syrvivor Syracuse, season 3 to be exact. So you will see that hopefully sooner or later. We don't know yet. And Catherine, you saw her in season 1 where she found an idol that she thought was an idol, but it was actually just a illusion. So a great moment there. But let's talk about this episode. So we're first brought into the aftermaths of Meg getting voted off. We see Mike at first kind of like, Erica, what are you doing? And at this point, Mike doesn't know that Erica was the person that flipped when Hannah got voted off. So Mike was like, what are you doing? Why vote out Meg? That was a number for our side. Derek was like, what are we doing? What are you doing? That was a number for our side. Now me and Addie are kind of screwed. Are you flipping on us for Maroon 9? So I guess I wanted to ask you guys, what is your view on Erica? And do you think she made the right choice in flipping on Zeleny, the tribe that she was originally on, and going to Maroon 9 and siding towards Jack and all those other people?
I mean, I'm still kind of undecided on whether or not, picking Meg for Vicavora first was a good decision because she kind of had her pick of the field. I mean, she had a lot of allies in the game, and yeah, she did flip on Hannah, but Hannah was someone who, at that point in the game, was kind of seen as a snake, untrustworthy, at least according to Derek and Mike, who had said in vlogs that she was untrustworthy, that she was a power player. And she was definitely, Erica was seen as, not Erica, Hannah was seen as someone who was a threat to be taken out before the merge. And I think even though Erica was the person who flipped on Hannah and flipped on her original alliance, alliances, as we know, in Survivor don't hold out too long. I mean, it's pretty rare that you play the same game with the same people for the whole season. So I think her would have forgiven her if she had maybe picked Mike or someone to be her, teammate instead of Meg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just feel like she's going with her and Jack are just so Jack and Erica are so in cahoots, and she's just sort of going with his vibe, and he's, I don't know. I feel like they're just loyal to each other, and she wasn't really thinking about flipping on the other people,
Yeah.
Mike was saying that he was like, oh, I thought we were super close, but he doesn't realize that no, her alliance isn't her loyalty isn't to him, it's to Jack, really.
Yeah, another man slid in. Crossed Mike.
All these boys.
See a vlog that Jack's like, me and Erica are close. We're like this. She's the one alliance that I truly care about. Catherine, do you think that Erica is the same way and Jack is her ride or die, just as Jack seems to be Erica's his ride or die?
It's interesting because she was so excited when Jack was going to give her the idol. She thinks that he's wrapped around her finger, but I think that she could play other people to her advantage. I know Jack can be cocky. He is very aggressive in his playing. So if she decides that he is not the right person eventually down the line, then I don't think she'll have a problem cutting him off.
That's right. Let's pose this question. Yeah, that's a good question. Who do you think would have a better not opportunity? Who do you think would cut off the other person, or do you think they won't cut each other off and they'll kind of just coast together?
I think Jack would cut Erica first, just because like he was literally saying in this episode, like, I have all these people in my circle, but like that I need to make sure that they trust me because I'm going to be the one to snip them first.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he was talking about her.
That's true, but I feel like if it came down to it, I don't know. I feel like he's more naturally cutthroat than her.
That might be Kat.
I don't know. This is my opinion.
I mean, it's hard to say because I mean, Jack's loyalty has been tested a few times, but Erica's loyalty to Jack at this point, I don't know. I don't know how strong, her loyalties lie. Erica's all over the place, but so is Jack. And they both played such drastically different games. So it's interesting that Jack considers Erica such a close ally. But yeah, I don't know. Given the same scenario, I don't know that Erica would even give Jack her idol in this episode.
Yeah, I don't know if the situations were flipped. I don't know if Erica would have given Jack an idol. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, we move forward. We see Derek kind of flipping out because he hears wind that Sean's tribe or the Maroon tribe, Jack, Sean, Andrew, Austin, those people, might throw this challenge to try to take out Sean to get rid of that double idol advantage that Derek gets in the merge if him and Sean were to make it to the merge. What is your guys' view on throwing challenges? And even though Maroon 9 ended up winning this challenge, they could have easily thrown it. It's a scavenger hunt. They could have just sat down. Yeah, so what did you guys view on, would throwing this challenge be smart? Because if you take out Sean, that inherently makes Derek weaker.
That's true, but also, I don't know, throwing a challenge kind of opens up a whole other can of worms. In my personal opinion, I think that would have been really lame. I was with Sean when he was like, yeah, no, I'm not with that. Like, I would have done everything in my power to take over the challenge. Because that's the one, you can't rely on people in this game. The only thing that you can rely on is that immunity. So I wouldn't give that up for anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm too naturally competitive to respect throwing challenges that much. I don't know.
I agree. I'm so
competitive
too.
I think that I think it was Geneva. She was like, oh, they were supposed to throw it, but it's hard to throw a scavenger hunt, so they couldn't. And I was like, I was like, you totally could have. They just played her. I don't.
That was Abby. I was like, they could have just.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been bad for Sean. I mean, maybe it wouldn't have, because as we can see from this episode, Sean and Summer are kind of, well, according to Sean, together because they're both from Buffalo. So who knows what could have happened if they were actually to throw that challenge. But speaking of the challenge, so this was a very interesting challenge. I came with it with the fly. On a fly, I'll say. I was sick for a week, or I pretended to be sick for a week, and I told Mel, hey, Mel, I have this challenge idea. You're going to be the host, and you're going to try to tell these players to try to find me. So, Mel, I want to hear your view on the challenge in your perspective, because you actually got the chance to play the challenge as well as host.
It was so fun to play.
And then, Catherine, I want to hear your thoughts about the challenge and the scavenger hunt. So, Mel, you go first. How was your experience?
Well, I was initially really nervous to host. That's scary a little bit. I don't know, it was intimidating, but it was fun. Yeah, it was nice having Valentina with me as well as like someone else who could like record and like take video and stuff. I think my natural competitiveness was coming out, and all of us on that tribe, like we were having a lot of like disagreements, like low key about like what to do.
Mm.
But at the same time, everyone was like they were like, oh, I'm not sure, like I don't know. And then I was like, okay, well, like make up an alternative. Like what do you think we should do then? And everyone was like, I don't know. And I was like, I guess I'll like say where to go. Like I feel like I was like doing a lot of the work. I don't know. But we did well. Like I was proud of us. But Valentina was Mitch was being funny, but also Valentina was definitely behind, and we were struggling to have her stay up with us.
You was
But
the pick though. You could have easily picked Paul, who was a cross country runner, but I guess that was Vicavora's fault.
yeah, they picked Valentina. I don't know, but we were so close. Like we were going to go down Flanagan. Like we were at the top, and we just had to go down the stairs, and you would have been right there. And we literally like were like, oh, no, like whatever. Right when we walk out the door, you texted. We were like,
Okay, Luke, I gotta ask, why did you fake being sick? Why didn't you just like not show up to the challenge? Like, did you have to?
I don't know.
for the drama.
was bored, so I was like, why not?
I immediately thought that Luke had COVID for some reason. I was like, oh no, like he has it. This is the end.
You
And
know?
then you're like, I'm just joking. And I was like, oh, okay. So everyone's gonna get thrown off. But I thought it was super entertaining watching everyone's face. Like Luke was just faking it. That was super fun to watch.
I
But
mean,
it's like so hard. It's so hard like when you're in the challenge and like you're trying to like figure out the clues and they're so vague. Classic Luke, but like it's just like so hard in the moment. So it's like really fun to watch everyone kind of like go around campus and search around.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
oh, yeah. Well,
The clues were good.
I
What
guess
was the third clue? I don't think we ever heard it.
I don't know. I don't even have
No.
that on those.
Okay.
One of them was like a fruit, which is squash is a fruit. And
Yeah, the music one pissed me off because
The
why
bump
was it?
music- Because there's the music gym or the music lab gym, the exercise music
Where?
for the bikes.
But where?
The bikes across the hall, they have music in them.
Design flaw.
That was such a thing that like threw us off. Like we went to the Belfer
Music-
archive.
musical stuff. I was trying to get people to get it like at the 5th or 6th clue.
Yeah.
But Andrew was just walking past, checking out every room and saw me. So there it is. I guess Owen, this is a question for you. In that case, so we didn't see much of Zeleny because they split up. So Mike and Derek were pretty much nowhere to be found. I heard they went to the freshman dorm. So what did you get? Would you split in that circumstance? I mean, at the end of the day, all persons of the tribe have to make it to find me. Would you have split?
Yeah. It depends on who's on your tribe. Because Mel, like you were saying, Valentina was slowing you guys down a little bit. If there were people on my team who maybe were a little bit, slow or like slowing me down, maybe we would just all stay together. But I don't know. It's a tricky thing. And obviously it didn't pay off. So yeah.
Very true. Very true. So yeah, so Maroon 9 wins this challenge. First, I want to ask you, well, two-part question. Maroon 9 wins this challenge, and then Geneva's snake advantage gets brought out. And she has the power to poison someone from the opposite tribe also going to tribal council. So Vicavora's and Lenny going to tribal council. Geneva gets to poison someone, inherently making them safe, but they still have their vote. An homage to season 1, Catherine. And Geneva chooses to poison Addie. So first, what was your reaction to Maroon 9 being the safe tribe? And 2, Addie getting the poison?
I thought Maroon 9, my ears were hurting because they were screaming so loud, but it was super, I guess, entertaining, energetic. Again, they're like super cocky, like all of them together, but I guess like that's their nature. They're competitive. So yeah, but the poison was super interesting. Thought I would never see that again, but I wonder if it's gonna come back to bite Addie or if it was just like a safe vote, like or immunity thing. But yeah, I don't know why she chose Addie. Maybe she trusts Addie, so she wants like her to be like her alliance in the merge. So that was interesting.
I mean, that is one more potential ally for Geneva. But then again, that might put a target on Geneva's back, could put a target on Addie's back, like you said, Luke. And this vote didn't go in Geneva's favor. Erica played that idol that Jack gave to her, and once again, Geneva wasn't really in control of the vote. So this is the second week in a row where things have not gone according to plan, despite meticulous planning and stuff. So I don't know. It's hard to say come merge what happens with that.
Well,
No, I sort of agree. Like, it's always tricky when you are faced with one of those things where you have to pick somebody, because there's always a give and a take to every decision, And I think Addie wasn't like a bad choice, like per se.
Yeah, because it gave Selene the opportunity to vote off Abby or Eli, which obviously worked. So that was worked in their favor to get Eli off. So
it all really came down, in my view, to that idol find that Jack found. If Jack doesn't find that idol, Erica goes home pretty much 9 times out of 10. And then theoretically, if Mike makes the same decision, Eli or Abby would go home. And then all of the Zeleny side, plus Mitch and Geneva, would hold the numbers in a swap, in a merge, basically. I guess the next question I want to say is...
But I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Do you guys think that it was smart for Mike to choose Eli and to vote instead of Derek?
Good question.
I think so. Because, I guess they could both be seen as threats now, but Derek's shown his kind of loyalty to Mike, first in telling him about Hannah's fake idol, and then, he really hasn't given Mike any reason to think that he should not trust Derek. So I think it was a good choice.
It also breaks up that core 5 alliance, so because they could be really powerful in the merge. So
I think with Mike's position, I guess the question's also posed to me, so I'll answer it. I think in Mike's position, you see Mike, Eric, and Austin were the first 3 freshmen that were kind of like aligned. And then Erica flips. Austin's with all maroon people, so Mike's kind of like, is Austin with me? So at that rate, I think Mike made a good choice in getting out Eli, because I think he knows that Derek he can trust. And he knows by keeping Derek in, and Sean's inherently going to be in at the merge, he can make a poll for that double idol that Derek gets. So I think Mike made the good choice there.
Yeah.
For sure.
I agree.
I guess another question, or another comment. What are your guys' views on Derek? Derek had one of the best professionals I've ever seen. #stressy Derek. He was really bugging out because of the rumors of someone finding an idol and giving it to either Abby or Eli, because that's a 50% shot if they vote for the wrong person. He's going to go home. Derek is a person who, in the first episode, almost went home, and now he's here just absolutely freaking out. What's your view as Derek as a player?
I think he's one of the best players this season. He's one of my favorites personally. Just the manic stressing, all the talk and stuff getting to him, and we're getting to that point in the season where everyone is pretty much talking to each other, regardless of alliances, regardless of previous contracts made. And so if something gets out, like we're thinking about playing the idol for someone, or we're thinking about throwing the challenge, that stuff is out in the open, and it's not going to be, there's going to be consequences.
For sure.
I just had to laugh. It was so entertaining to watch his brain work, and it is really stressful when you're in the moment. You're hearing all this chatter around possibly you going home. So I understand the stress, but man, he just came in just all out there. So that was great.
Yeah. I think he just uses I love how he just uses the vlog to just get off all of his crazy stress, and he's okay, now I have to play now and whatever. But I'm excited to see what him and Mike what them working together is gonna look like, and how that evolves in the future. And I love Jack. I think he's such good entertainment, and he's just so dad vibes. I love it.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Imagine if he got voted out first. Wow.
Totally different.
It would have been a shame.
Totally different. So yeah, so I guess the next point I want to bring up is the little brief interjection into the. So we see Abby makes a move.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Would you say the interjection? What?
Wait, am I echoing? Hello?
A little bit.
I think I'm fine now. Yeah, I'm fine now. Okay, so we see Addie make a move, and basically adding some more context to it. Mel knows the situation, but she uses a fake number to text Jack and Erica specifically, kind of texting Erica like, why are you trusting Jack? Jack's just carrying you. He's lying to you this entire time. Yada, yada, yada. Try to give like spite to Jack because, I mean, granted, Jack kind of is that cocky villain that we have this season. From this, though, it caused mad chaos. We didn't have anything in the contract that made it illegal for people to use fake numbers. We saw
this is why we put that in the contract.
we saw that we have to include that just to protect the players. But at the same time, even though that was cut off right there, right then and there, the players still got something from that. They still created their own views and their own opinions of that, and of Addie and Jack and Erica specifically. I guess question posed to Owen and Catherine: how do you think this situation could influence the rest of the game?
Well, it starts to, put the idea in everyone's head, like, can I trust Addie? And I mean, I don't know the exact, so Addie was texting Jack and Erica.
Mm-hmm.
So
with an anonymous number. Yeah,
with one of those fake, I've gotten fucked with before like that. But so what exactly did she say? And what did the players find out after all this?
To my knowledge, it was kind of just
she made it personal a little bit too. I feel
a little personal. It was a little like Jack's kind of playing you kind of thing. And then since no one knew who it was, Erica and Jack kind of brought it to like the big group, like the big chat for all the cast members that we have every season. And they were like, whoever's doing this and texting us with a fake number, you better stop now. This is too far. And then everyone was like, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And it kind of like grew from there.
Yeah, it just made Jack and Erica super uncomfy, and it was also just for why was Addie doing it? It wasn't really accomplishing much. I don't know.
It's tough because yes, it was a game move, but it was a game move that was way too far,
and it backfired completely.
It's depending on how you see it. And it's something that we can't really control with the cast. They're going to see it in either way, and that might affect the game forward.
Yeah. But also, this wasn't in the episode, right? That Addie, got up in front of everyone and,
Yeah, it might be featured in the next episode.
Okay. So. Yeah, she, got up and, spoke about it to everyone, addressed it.
Yeah. So
wow.
It'll definitely... Yeah, this season's chaotic, for sure.
It was so chaotic.
A little tidbit you guys threw in about players super committed, because this season really just shows several players just pushing the boundaries and bending the rules to every which way, and I really respect it.
It's so interesting because I've said this many a time. Season one, even season one, I self-recruited pretty much all of the players. Yes, there were gamers as you know, Jake was a huge gamer. I mean, Sean developed himself to be a huge gamer, but there's also a lot of people that didn't really know the game, and they kind of were just there to make friends. Catherine, yeah. But season two, everyone knew the game pretty much. Everyone was going for gold. So it was a very interesting aspect. Definitely made for a different type of season, I guess. But
especially people there really was no one else like Hannah in this season. Creating that many fake idols before the game even starts, I can't even still grasp how much time that must have taken. And you got to be a special kind of mixture of strategic and cocky to do that and think you can pull it off. And I wonder if she had been just a little bit more, reserved and a little bit more shy, maybe that would have worked out and she would still be here.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we bring in the star of the show today, I wanna ask this question. So we'll address this later once Mitch leaves, but we see Jack finds the idol. and then he gives it to Erica. We'll address that later. But Erica basically has a choice here, whether to pick Geneva or Mitch. She picks Mitch. Do you guys think that was the right choice? I know in the vlog for Jack wanted Geneva to go home. Do you think it was the right choice for Erica to pick Mitch, sending Mitch home? Or should she have picked Geneva?
I don't know.
I really don't know.
I was just sad that Mitch went home.
It was sad, but he also looked really sad, like throughout his vlogs. I was like, poor Mitchell. I want him to look happy. I know losing sucks, but I don't know. Maybe she like wants to mend relationships with Geneva. I really don't understand that move because like Geneva is a really good player and she is like a very social person. So it's very interesting that she decided on Mitchell to go home. So
yeah.
Yeah, you go on. Sorry.
I was going to say maybe she thinks she can trust Geneva a little bit more than Mitchell at this point. I mean, I know Mitch has like, exhibited snake behavior in the past, and I don't know how like obvious that was to the rest of the cast, but maybe Erica just thought Geneva's the safer bet.
Yeah, it's tough.
I feel like I don't know. I was gonna say like I feel like for Jack's game though, like it definitely would have been better, I think, for Mitch to stay. I don't know.
No, yeah, I think Jack wanted Geneva to go, but when I was reading the votes and I saw Mitch was the one going home, not only was I crushed because I love Mitch, but it was a tough split because I also love Geneva. But for Erica's game personally, I think she made the wrong choice here. I think Geneva, even though Geneva was more intertwined in the game and maybe like, I don't know, maybe she like people like Andrew or I don't know, Zach wouldn't work with Geneva and maybe Erica could have. I think just keeping Geneva in this game, the fact that she has found idols, the fact that she is smart and it's like very known that she is smart, and the fact that she has ties to like Addie and Derek and that side, giving the poison. I think it was a better move to take out Geneva there while she was exposed and keep Mitch, who's more of a kind of like a free agent, kind of floating around. Because Mitch has no lines to Derek, Mike, or Addie from this point on. We've never seen them talk. So I don't know. Erica continues to surprise me with a Meg vote and now the Mitch vote. But Mitch, are you here? He is. So we welcome in the star. Eli can sadly not make it this week. So we'll have Eli next week as well as the boot on that week. But we have the star, Mitch. Okay. Tell us, did you enjoy playing the game?
I did. I did enjoy playing the game. I'm sure in all of my vlogs I look very stressed and sick. Actually, some of my friends, actually the day before the previous tribal council, the Meg one, I had a class with one of my friends from 6 until like 9. And then I went to tribal after that. And she said I looked sick to the entire class. Like I was just so nervous. So I definitely had fun, but there were a lot of nervous moments, and it sucked having to go to tribal every single week. It felt like.
So true. I mean, tell us how draining it was. I mean, I don't know if you want to relive it, but going to 5 straight tribal councils. That's literally January, like the second week of January, to the last week of February. Just putting a timetable on that. That's insane.
Yeah, it was a long time, and the whole time I was at the bottom or very near the bottom. So it wasn't like, oh, like this week is probably going to be different. There were 2 blind sides against me, and things just kept like every week literally could have been my last. But I tried to do everything that I could with, the limited amount of time you have when you're also doing college and other things. But yeah, it was tough, but it was fun.
No, for sure. I mean, you're the one who coined the Backstreet Boys Alliance in the episode 1. I thought it would skyrocket from there, but unfortunately not. I like to pose this question because But seeing your game firsthand, I thought you and Geneva were kind of like outside looking in on this whole Maroon 9 kind of vibe. I feel like you and Geneva were kind of more Zeleny based. I feel like you would vibe more with those personalities. So I guess how different do you think it would have been if you were on another tribe?
I mean, if
Because
I
you
was,
never talk to like Derek or Mike, and I feel like you and Derek would make the most hilarious content I've ever seen.
I think so too. Watching back some of Derek's stuff, he's funny, and we still got to know each other outside of the game and stuff. And he's a great guy. I love him. But I definitely think if I was on the other tribe, or if tribes were even just shifted up a little bit, it could have been different and better for myself. But that's what you get when you do a schoolyard pick on the first day. No one really knows each other, you know. It's luck of the draw. And unfortunately, my initial final two was the first boot, so you know it was a tough go right from the beginning.
That is true. Potasnik was your initial first alliance. So I guess I want to pose you the same question that I posed the others. Erica, in that situation, do you think she made the right choice in voting you off, or should she have voted off Geneva?
You know, I can say she made the right choice because she got off one of the best players in the game, me, myself. But honestly, I don't think that was her best move. I know she might have thought something like her and Geneva could bond as girls, you know, but at that point, the kind of girls' alliance was already messed up since you had gotten rid of Hannah and Meg. To be honest, she should have kept Meg that week and not have kept me. That was also kind of weird, you know, to keep me and then just get rid of me the next week didn't really make sense. Because if Geneva was gone, I had no other connections, whereas Geneva had a little bit more connections with some other people on Zeleny. So, you know, I think for her game, Erica might have been better off if she had chosen me, but that's just not how it happened.
Does anyone out there have any questions? For
Geneva just said something in the chat.
So she says, I chose Addie because I did not trust Abby and Eli since they didn't include me in votes. Makes sense. Derek, I didn't fully trust because he actually called Mitch the week before and told him to vote me out. Okay, I did not know that. But interesting. Okay. I guess another question for Mitch. Well, Derek also had the advantage thingy, so I wouldn't have minded if he decided to vote him out. Wasn't sure where I stood with Mike, and had been talking to Addie since the Hannah vote, so I wanted to establish myself. That makes sense. Fair enough. That I kind of figured. I guess Mitch, how was it for you to never have a vote go your way? I mean, it takes a person with mental fortitude to one, lose every single challenge. Two, never vote the right way. But three, also make it as far as you did with no advantages, no idols, just based on who you are. I guess
that's the magic of Mitch.
I mean, to be honest, after the second tribal that I lost, every week from then on, I prayed I would get the snake because I had absolutely nothing else going for me. I was like, maybe I should, if I could just get one thing, you know, to bargain with, or to just say I did something right, or at least had something tough. I mean, I tried to go as far as I could with, you know, what little I had, but it just was going to catch up to me in the end. And unfortunately, it happened right before merge. So.
Yeah, I think I kind of did you wrong by screwing you in this season by having a season so filled with advantages, and you never got one. So it
Yeah.
kind of put you in a disadvantage there. I guess the big question is, say you were to play another season, right? What would you do differently? Say that there's no snake. There's no there's just a regular kind of idols kind of thing, blah, whatever. But there's no snake, no hidden advantages, whatever. What would you do differently that you think you didn't do enough in your season?
I think it just have to talk to more people right off the bat. I mean, I somehow missed the Maroon 5 being formed within, the first week. So I guess having a slow start to those making connections really put me off on a bad start. And I think by, talking to more people and opening up, people wouldn't really view me as more sus. I guess people thought I was suspicious and, people didn't really like me. They just didn't really get to know me yet. Making those snap judgments kind of hurt me. But I just kind of felt the whole time everyone was jealous of my hair. So I didn't have nothing really to do about that.
Bitch, you are a riot. Oh my God. This kid walks into his interview. I'm like, okay, who's this goon walking in with this so long hair? And then his fun fact immediately is I can dunk. And I'm like, what? This guy's I guess that's true that people made snap judgments of Mitch because Mitch comes across as this kind of quiet, reserved,
aloof almost.
kind of. But then once you get to know Mitch more, he's more of this he has he has a personality, yeah, but it's more vibrant.
Congratulations, Mitch, you have a personality.
Thanks. That means a lot.
He's a fool. Secretly he's a fool. He's not just a piece of bread.
A straight fool. A clown.
I remember, Mitch, one of your first vlogs in episode 1. It was the guys want me to go with their alliance, but that would be too boring. I know my fans would be disappointed. And I was like, this guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. The name was fun, but that's not a fun way to start off the beginning of, a season. That was a bad precedent for the rest of the season. Obviously, that wasn't how it was going to go anyways. But I was glad to see that I wasn't the only one who was like, nah, guys, Alliance is a little boring. Let's be a little more fun, shake things up. Unfortunately, they were shaken up against me. So
Mitch was anything but boring. Maybe the audio may have had to be tweaked a little bit, but whispering at every single vlog. But that's besides the point. The peanut butter vlog, the cooking with Daisy vlog. Great.
Yeah, I don't remember filming so much while I was eating food, but watching these episodes, I'm like, damn, I've got food in every single.
All right. Does anyone have any other questions for Mitch before we let him go? I guess, Mitch, I have a question. So how was it working with Jack this time? Was Jack really this villain that was this cocky person and kind of untouchable in your mind?
A little bit. Like I said, right from the get-go, I was put at a disadvantage with a 5 against 4, and then immediately our 4 became kind of 3. And I never really knew where I stood of those 3. And, I tried to fix it right after that, but it ended up with the mysterious texts because he didn't save my phone number. And from then on, it just kind of felt like, yeah, he was, this villain that I really couldn't escape from. He had his 5 and I had Geneva and an idol and a fake idol with Daisy. But I didn't really have much to go on. And then, the swap happened and there he goes again, getting another one of the numbers that I thought I had. But he's a great player. You got to give him credit for, the connections he was able to make. But it did kind of feel like a David and Goliath kind of thing. Every week going back to tribal and every week, Jack's safe. And, was tough. It was.
It was very tough. But hey, Mitch, if things were different, I would love to see you farther in this game. The content would have been amazing. Maybe increase your voice level a little bit more, but that's fine. We have audio gain on Premiere. It's all good. But Mitch, once again, one of the best cast members I've ever decided to put into a season. Thank you for enriching us with your hair.
Luscious locks.
The luscious locks. Best. I put that best hair of the cast tagline in the episode tonight just for you. And yeah, I think you gained a lot of fans from the viewers. Everyone loves you. Take that to heart. And thank you, Mitch, representing Filipinos well.
Yes, I tried.
All right, Mitch. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you all. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
On the subject of the captions, they've been getting better and better since episode 1. My favorite this one was probably either Mitch's or the Austin playing 4D chess.
4D chess.
I always, because I have them all, pretty much all, edited into my computer. I always just go back to make sure everything audio is like correct and stuff like that. And then I kind of just like put in the different taglines just pertaining to where I think they are in the game.
I liked Andrew's. There's so much maroon. That made me laugh.
We did have so much maroon on. Yeah, so I guess back into the episode before we end off here. Let's talk a little bit about Jack's idol find and the fact that he gave it to Erica. So Jack was in an interesting spot because, one, he find the idol. Okay, cool. 2, he could either give it to Eli or Abby, saving one of them. I mean, I guess it's a 50% shot if you think about it, because Derek and Abby could vote for someone else. And Mike could easily vote with Eli and Abby. At least with giving it to Erica, that pretty much is guaranteed that Erica is safe. So do you think Jack made the right decision in even giving it at all, if to Erica? Should he have kept it, knowing that there's a merge next, and that he is a big threat?
I feel like if I was him, I wouldn't have. It was a simp move, I think it was. But I think, I don't know. I just think, like, I get it. Like, I get why he did it. Like, it's not, like, completely stupid or something like that. But I just feel like it really showed, like, everyone knew that they were, like, I guess, like, people knew they were close, but that really just showed, like, another level. It was just, like, blatant. And, like, I don't know. And I'm not the biggest Jack fan, I guess you guys could tell. I just think, I don't know. I think he could have kept it and used it for himself, and it wouldn't have been the end of the world if, like, she went home. I don't know.
I think, like, if you were Eli and Abby in that situation, would you feel, like, kind of betrayed? Like, this random girl from the other tribe comes waltzing in, and you give her the idol while we've been alliances since day one?
Yeah, it's like that's like what I'm saying is like it just plays that whole like everyone knows now like okay like he sort of values her like high up on this totem pole that's making me question where I stand with him and all of that, you know.
Yeah, honestly, I actually am a pretty big Jack fan. I think he's pretty entertaining. His vlogs are S tier, and just the cockiness. I love it. But I think this week the perfect move would have just been to give Eli the idol because, you know, he's been an ally with Jack for longer. He's like kind of a known alliance. And Erica, you know, while there, you know, may have been whispers about her and Jack kind of working together, I don't think Erica is going to be as loyal to Jack as Eli would have maybe been. I mean, I guess hindsight is 2020, but I think playing the idol this week wasn't a bad move because now the target is a little bit shifted off his back. I think keeping it would have been a really bad move because then everyone would have just known he had the idol and potential blindside. But I think it was an interesting move and a little bit of a greedy move, but that's kind of what we're getting to know Jack for. Because if Eli stays and, you know, he plays the idol for Erica, then, you know, nothing bad happens. He's got all his allies and an extra one at that with Erica. But yeah, this is I guess a questionable move.
Very questionable.
I kind of knew. I just had a feeling that he was going to give it to her because he values her so much. Like, he literally says every episode that Erica is his number one. So, I mean, he wouldn't just like let her go home because like Mitchell and Geneva were going to vote for her. So, in the short term, I think it was smart for him to play it on her, and so she could be with him in the merge. But it's going to be interesting to see how his allies will.
You could do that with the
kinda
comments.
react.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Black says, we agree doesn't allow us to give to Erica. Be the best choice for a 6, because honestly, we all trusted Mike pretty confidently. He messed with us pretty good. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. Going back once again to just like at this, I mean, now there's only 11 people in the game, but 13 people in the game, you should be expecting that everyone is talking to each other. And the fact that, you know, Erica was just telling everybody everything, that's going to get back to Mike. And as we saw, he didn't really appreciate Erica talking behind his back.
Yeah.
So that ultimately led to, you know, him giving Erica the idol, and and Eli going home.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess the next segment of this. So Eli and Mitch go home. RIP. I think they both deserved better one. I think they both, if we were to play again, they would play maybe different games. I don't know about different games, but they would play, or at least have a potential to go farther. I think just with the amount of gamers we have this season, it was hard for anyone to stay low key, I say. So we are now posed with the merge. Okay, so we have 11. So on one side, pretty confidently, we have the Maroon 4 minus Eli, but plus Erica, I would assume. So Jack, Abby, Andrew, Summer, Erica. That's 5 on one side. Then you have Zeleny. Mike showed his hands. He's with Derek. So Mike, Derek, Addie, and you would assume that Geneva would be with them as well, because why would she go over back to Jack? So now that leaves Austin and Sean. Where would you think Austin and Sean would go? Giving some context, Austin worked with Mike for the first half of this kind of season, but as we see, Austin and Mike kind of decided that vote together. Austin, that 4D chess kind of vlog that he had was like, if Mike votes out Eli, then this happens. If Mike votes out Derek, then this happens. Austin has been with the Maroon 5 for what? Or the Maroon 9 tribe for 3 weeks now, and has yet to go to tribal, so who knows. Sean has also been there, doesn't have a real footing in this game, but now Derek gets that double idol. Could he side with Derek now and flip? But he also is close with Summer, with the Buffalo thing. Where do you think Austin and Sean might go for this? Because it could determine the sides.
I mean, I guess it's going to depend on the challenge for next week, who gets immunity. But as we're seeing, Austin is not opposed to turning on his allies and just, thinking for himself. And he really is playing 4D chess. I mean, right now he is probably one of the 3 or 4 people who I would say is just making the decisions in this game. And Geneva, as much as she's been making decisions, like she said, she would have had better luck if it weren't for idols. I think Erica, would be long gone. Mitch would have those extra numbers going into the merge. And Sean has yet to be, challenged in a tribal council. He hasn't gone to tribal council at all. And if these people have watched season 1, I think they would be wise to try to target him first.
Ooh, fair enough. Catherine, you played with Sean, and Sean found an idol that you were trying to find. How dangerous?
Yeah, I looked in the exact same spot where that idol was. He just found it that same day. So Sean is very athletic, as we see in season 1. He's a very good player. He's social. He's likable. So it'll be interesting, who that first person who wins immunity, like Owen said, because Sean can really flip either way. He really doesn't like Jack, so it might be hard for him to side with them. So, because I think that him and Austin could form a really nice bond. So I think Sean could sway Austin to possibly vote against, Jack's alliance.
Very interesting. Mal, knows what happened, so I guess we'll ask the question. I guess, does anyone else have any questions to just like ask out there?
Let me
Are there still going to be snakes in the merge?
There is one more snake.
Okay.
There's one more snake. So Abby has the snake advantage, and she didn't get voted off.
Right.
So knowing that Eli got out, do you think Abby will reveal herself, gain that advantage?
Definitely. I think she will. Like, why wouldn't she?
Oh, let's actually talk about Oliver, Abby's dog.
Oh my god.
Cute, so
He was
cute.
the star of tribal council.
The star of the. I remember when we cut it off the episode because it was so annoying. But when Eli got voted off, Oliver started barking and growling at the torch. And then when Mitch got voted, Oliver was dead silent.
Because there was so much like to keep track of in this episode, and like different tribes and stuff. I was taking a few notes on my phone, and the last like bullet point I have is Eli really hit the whoa and then got voted out. He like searching in his pocket for the idol, and idols have like dictated, I guess not necessarily dictated, but been the deciding factor in so many votes. And now that there's really no idols to anyone's name, it's going to be really interesting, after the next challenge to see if anyone finds it.
Yeah, it's tough because once an idol gets played, you have to put it back out there. So, like with this past one with Jack, like I hid the idol. Well, it was 2 weeks, I guess, so it wasn't that quick, but they like immediately found it afterwards. So these players are really gamers, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so awesome to watch.
It's a lot.
Yeah, this season is just so idol heavy.
Yeah, it wasn't as idol heavy as season 1. Season 1, I mean, we had
There were like no idols played until like Luca's vote, right?
Yeah.
Like there were no idols played, and like a lot of people like didn't really like understand the game, like myself. So
yeah, it's a learning curve, I guess.
Yeah. So this has been awesome. Like everyone seems so into it. They're really strategic, so it's been great.
Different dialects. So I guess Mel, you know what happens, but Owen and Catherine, I want to hear who do you think is going to be voted out next, and who do you think will win? Winner's pick and next boot.
Well, I already know who wins.
Okay, Owen, you're fine.
I have no idea who wins. Oh my god. I feel like maybe Abby or Addie could slide their way up there. I don't really know. Jack is a self-proclaimed winner, so we'll see how far that goes. I don't know. I think they could all have a chance, honestly.
Here's another question because it's going to be featured on our social, I think, next week. Out of the people that have been eliminated pre-merge, who do you think, if playing again, would win?
If playing again from the people who have already gotten eliminated?
Yeah. And now you can answer this question too.
I mean, Hannah would be the pretty obvious choice, but I honestly think later on she would have clashed with too many people. But maybe low-key Nassan, I think we've been really I think he I don't know. I would have liked to see him compete in more challenges and just interact with more people because he was pretty funny. And even Mitch, I think, could make it far if, he was placed on the right tribe with the right people.
Yeah. I think Nassan also, Nassan is the epitome of like just so sad. Like he had so much more so much more potential in game to play. So I would pick him, or I would pick Eli. I think Eli could definitely like do well again for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking Eli too, and Hassan.
Yeah.
So.
No one out there for Ptashnik? No. First boot.
I'm gonna have to go with him on that.
I still that vote was so shocking to me. because he was not at all who I expected. I expected Derek to get 7 votes on him, it to be the clear. But yeah, that was crazy.
No, yeah. I guess another question, it's really mind-boggling how one vote can shape an entire season. I mean, Owen, you've played, Catherine, you've played. Does that ring true so much that if one small little difference goes another way, like if Abby and Eli find that idol before Jack does, this could be totally different.
I think about it all the time.
For sure. I think, me personally, the vote in my season, like that double tribal where Curtis got voted off my tribe, if I just wrote Valentina's name, she would have gone home, and that whole season would have been different. So I think about that a lot. But
wait, were you thinking about voting out Valentina?
Yeah, kind of, because I mean, Luca and Colin were so persistent about getting her out, but I was, bamboozled by her and Ryan and Logan to vote with them. So, because I had immunity, so that was interesting. But oh well.
Well,
I didn't answer who I thought would get voted out next. I think
same.
If Sean doesn't win immunity, I think he's gone, honestly. But if he does win immunity, which is a strong chance, I would say either Jack or Erica.
Fair enough.
I think Sean could really play to some people's advantage, so it might be dumb to vote him off first. But if Sean wins immunity, I think it might be Jack.
All right. Well, with that said, we'll have to wait a week to find out. The merge is here. Now I'm going to give each of you a time to say whatever you're working on. Boast your social media. We figured to have next week another season 3 player, as well as I think Valentina will be on and someone else. I don't know yet, but we'll see. But I'll start with Owen. Owen, just say whatever you want to say.
Oh, I got
crew. Owen is a founding member of, well, not founding member, but he's a part of a review crew. Definitely check them out. They're on Spotify. They review every single episode, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, you go.
Not a founding member of Review Q, Orange TV Network's longest running student produced show. But you can watch that on YouTube. And also the Review Q's podcast, where we go over every episode of Syrvivor Syracuse, starting this season, of course. And follow me on Twitter at OVVENH, OVVENH, like a W. Handle is the same on Instagram. And play me on chess.com. It's the same. Anyone who's been watching the Queen's Gambit and just has an itch to play chess, hit me up. And yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Oh, I removed you from stream. That's my fault. I need to start watching the Queen's Gambit. Catherine.
Hey guys. My Instagram is at CatherineSmith57. I'm an accounting student, so if anyone is looking for an accountant, hit me up. But yeah, I'm in choir, so if anyone's looking to sing or play Among Us, you can just hit me up.
Oh, love Among Us, for sure. Definitely great accounting student, Catherine, in the same college.
Yeah,
and Mel, the one-time host, VP extraordinaire. A bit about Mel, just putting this out there. Me and Mel, in January, she was the main person with me that decided to make this club and make it.
It started, I was laying in this very bed, and we were on FaceTime. I was literally just chilling.
Right. Just to put that out there into the world, me and Mel had the same 50-50 share of creating this organization as I did.
This is true. And then I fucking dipped to Australia for the first season, and then obviously Luke had to take all the reins, No,
yeah. So I thank Mel, the world, for that, and we've gotten closer as this.
I hate when you do that.
Now here's
Yeah, Luke, forever, awesome that we made this club together. But yeah, okay, me, I don't have anything to promote besides just me as a human, I guess. Yeah, my Instagram is Mel_Alba10, and my Twitter is at MelAlbanese2. And I am a marketing and music industry student, and if someone in any entertainment place wants to hire somebody entry-level job, I'm very available. So hit my line, Melanie Albanese on LinkedIn.
Thank you, Mel.
Actually, I have one last question for Luke and Mel, you guys.
Yes, Owen.
If you guys were in this season, how far do you think you'd make it?
I'll make it further than Luke.
Okay, I'll go first. Wait, settle down, Mel. Settle down.
I would.
No.
If you were placed on Maroon 9, how far would you make it?
Okay, if I was placed on Maroon 9, I wouldn't make it as far. But if I was placed on Zeleny, I think I could make it the distance in this season. I think season 1, I would have been definitely pre-merge boot. I think season 1 is way too social, way too
You were going to be first boot in season 1, I think.
possibly.
We joke about that all the time.
Like, you're way too social. There's no way in hell I could out-social Ava, Sean. There's no way in hell I could work with Brian. Like, I would be with Catherine and Molly Gibbs pretty much, and that would signify pre-merge boot. As for season 2, I think about this daily. I think I had the right amount of social and strategic to combine the both, to fly under the radar enough, but also make enough moves and also make enough friends that I would make the distance in season 2.
Win?
I would win in season 2. I stand by that.
No, you wouldn't.
That might be cap.
That is not.
Okay, so my synopsis is season 1. I think I would have done pretty well, like, to be honest, because I think I would have been able to, like, because you know how there was that whole like Theta group, and then they like tragically backstabbed Molly, but like I feel like I would have been on the right side of that, and then like I don't know, I think I would have played well. And season 2, I think I would do better on Maroon 9 than Zeleny. I think I would have socially gotten along with those people probably more, and I think I probably would have gotten out like early merge, like right after, like maybe like the second tribal into the merge, or the third, because I don't know, maybe a little bit better than that. Because I think there was a little bit of intense, like the 4D chessness, you know, like I don't know if I could keep up with it.
Yeah,
because I'm analytical, but like I need to like write shit down, or else I get so confused. Like even like thinking back about what happens in these episodes, I'm like,
it is not cap that I would win season 2. I'm just saying that.
But wait, would we be playing together in the season, or just without? Because if we're in the same season, then that's just a whole nother.
Independently, and
Okay.
yeah.
In the same season, I think I wouldn't win season 2, but I would make it farther in season 1.
If we play together, I'll make sure you would not make it far.
What? We played together in a what? I had your back.
Because you were gonna backstab me.
I didn't know. I thought about it. That's totally different than doing it. You gotta think out your options.
Who came in second place? Lost by 1 vote.
Whatever, it's fine. I should have made it there, but stupid. I hate that kid. Season 3 though, I would have kid.
I don't know.
Season 3 is just I'm even.
Season 3 I might win. Might be cap. But...
Season 3 hard to gauge.
Oh, we gotta watch out for that Owen kid. I heard he's trouble.
If I were in season 3, I would have won. No cap.
Oh man. But anyways, that's all for us. Thank you once again, Mel, Owen, and Catherine. Yeah, we'll have a new set of people for next week, and yeah, have fun watching the rest of Syrvivor Syracuse. It gets hot and spicy from here.
And a pleasure.
Thanks, Luke.